He had gone to the mountains to disappear, not to begin again, choosing the silence of snow and pine over the noise of memories that followed him everywhere else, believing a lonely life was the punishment he deserved after losing everything he once loved, but fate had a different plan waiting outside his wooden cabin on a cold evening when the wind howled like an old warning. She arrived just before dusk, standing beside a worn wagon with nothing but a small suitcase and eyes heavy with sorrow, a woman dressed like someone who had been running from her past rather than walking toward a future, and when he opened the door, their eyes met in a moment that felt heavier than the falling snow. She told him little at first, only that she had been left behind on her wedding day, abandoned without explanation, her name whispered with pity in towns she no longer dared to return to, and though he had promised himself never to carry another person's pain, he saw his own loneliness reflected in her trembling hands. He offered her shelter for the night, then another, and soon the days began to stitch themselves into a quiet rhythm of shared meals, silent mornings, and long evenings by the fire where words slowly replaced fear. The mountains tested them with bitter cold and endless nights, but they also softened the walls both had built, teaching them that survival was easier when burdens were shared, and love did not always arrive with grand promises but with simple acts of care. She learned to smile again in small moments, watching snow fall through the window or hearing him hum softly while chopping wood, while he found his hardened heart warming to the sound of her laughter echoing through the cabin. Though both carried scars they never fully spoke of, they understood each other without explanation, realizing that sometimes broken paths meet not by chance but by quiet necessity. When spring finally crept into the mountains, melting the snow and revealing green beneath the white, he no longer saw the place as his exile, and she no longer felt like a woman without a home. Together, they stood outside the cabin, not as strangers hiding from the world, but as two souls who had found something stronger than the pain that once defined them, discovering that love, when least expected, does not ask for perfection, only the courage to stay.